Good afternoon. I'm Steve Naveau, Human Resources Director, and co-presenting with me on this agenda item is Mike Moore, Human Resources Manager. And this presentation is on the Memoranda of Understanding for the Oxnard Mid-Managers Association. The purpose of this item is to adopt a successor Memorandum of Understanding, known as an MOU, with the Oxnard Mid-Managers Association, also known as OMMA, as well as to adopt two resolutions, one approving the new classification and compensation structure due to the class and comp study, and to modify the position control resolution as it applies to the OMMA unit, again, due to the approval of the class and comp study. When we did bargaining with this group, the items that we were looking to address was an implementation of the classification and compensation study, implementing cost of living adjustments for employees, making modifications to the city's medical plan contributions, and then addressing any bargaining unit specific issues for this group. So to kind of dive into these items, the class and comp study, the purpose of the study was to create a broad class system. There hasn't been a class and comp study done in the city of Oxnard for over 25 years. Usually these are done in about 10-year intervals. And so what this does is it looks across the organization, looks at all the different positions that employees occupy, classifies the work, and then applies a market analysis to that to figure out, if we're paying, if the pay that we're paying is appropriate based on the market. And this also does, as mentioned here in the slide, there's internal equity as well as external market forces. So we're trying to look at the work and the value of the work and ensure that across the organization that work that is being done that is valued the same is paid relatively the same as well. Cost of living adjustments. So it's been quite a number of years since employees have received any type of a cost of living adjustment. And so the city was interested in providing some type of cost of living adjustments in the marketplace, in agencies all around us, in the county and counties adjacent to us. Everybody is dealing with what's going on with the CPI index going up and are providing cost of living adjustments to employees. So for us to remain marketable and competitive in the marketplace, we need to continue to see some growth in our salaries for employees if we want them to both retain them as well as be capable of recruiting new people to the other item we look to address is the medical plan. And the philosophy driving this is that we should be contributing money to the medical insurance plan so that our coverage is affordable for employees. What's been going on over the years is a lot of the money that's put into the medical plan, employees end up keeping as cash, either because they waive taking the medical plan because they take a medical plan someplace else, could be with a spouse or a partner, or they're getting some type of cash back, and cash back meaning when an employee takes a plan and the premium for that plan is less than the city's contribution, they get to keep the difference in cash in their pocket. So the city wanted to tackle these two items and slowly move us towards a plan that there isn't as much of this cash going into pockets, and instead the cash is repurposed to put back into as actual city contributions. This slide, the medical plan, these are the details of what we did. So we created essentially two levels. This level one is a grandfathering in type of a concept where employees who are waiving coverage or receiving some type of cash back could continue to stay in that plan, but the city's contribution is frozen. So if they're getting some kind of cash back over time, that cash back is going to go down as the premiums go up, which would then push the employee at some point to move into what's called the level 2 plan. And the level 2 plan is for employees who come onto the city as of January 1st, 2023, or for people who are taking a family plan because currently there is no cash back that they would get. And in that category, that's where we see the city's contribution increasing each year to help offset the increase in premiums. Here also we see the cashback option, the waive option, going down to $500. So that's a significant reduction Currently, it's at 1,200. So that will be going down. And then, like the slide also mentions, if an employee is actually taking a plan, they will not get any cash back. Cash back being meaning in this instance the difference between the premium and the city's contribution. So by taking money out of just being in people's pockets, like I said, we're able to reinvest in the actual plan, so that over time, this reduction in cash in people's pockets actually helps to pay for these increases in the city's contribution. So COLAs, total of 9% during the term of the contract. We're doing 3% per year, similar to other contracts that have just settled. Class and compensation, no instant increase. And instant increases were something where there's some employees who their current salary falls below the minimum recommendation for the new salary structure. Bargaining units opted to instead take COLAs, and so employees are going to slowly move up into the minimum salary range. This way, the majority of employees get something out of these contracts rather than concentrating money into smaller groups of employees. So we feel that this is a better way to spread the money across the bargaining group, and this is what the employee groups are looking for. Employees are moved into the range and they advance through COLAs and annual wage adjustments. So they just move up through that range like they always have. And if an employee is projected to be below this minimum range by the end of the contract term, they will be provided an actual increase to get them to the minimum. So by the end of this contract, all employees will be in the minimum proposed range, and that minimum proposal is based on the market study that we had consultants assist the city with developing. The bargaining unit specific issues, there was only one with this group, and it is the there is a $500 per year wellness benefit that OMMA gets, and the bargaining group agreed to exchange this $500 for the city making a 1% contribution toward a retirement health savings plan. And what the retirement health savings plan does is it helps employees in retirement pay for things such as medical premiums, prescriptions, kind of anything that you can think of that's related to medical, basically anything medical. So like I said, prescriptions, it could be, glasses, premiums, co-pays, all that type of stuff. So this will help employees when they go to retire to, help with those costs as those costs escalate over time. Currently, employees do not have this at all. So this is a new benefit, but we are repurposing some of this money from the wellness program to now put into this retirement health savings program. The next two slides are on the fiscal impacts, and here I'm going to let Mike Moore go ahead and take over, and he will walk you through those slides.
For the OMMA package, the total cost for the 3-year contract is $2.8 million, roughly $2.9 million, which amounts to approximately 11.02% of total compensation for this group, or 3.67% per year. For the general funds portion of this contract, it's approximately $1.3 million over the 3-year term. The city CFO estimates that the appropriations in the fiscal year 22-23 adopted budget are sufficient to cover these costs. And for bargaining units still actively negotiating, there may be the need for additional appropriations. When we present these labor contracts, we like to show 2 different methodologies for costing the agreements. One is the labor methodology and the other is the budget methodology. The labor methodology essentially illustrates the cost in each year independently as a percentage of base compensation. And then the budget methodology compounds the cost over the 3-year period. You can see at the end of the term, the percent increase is the same for each methodology at 11.02%. that concludes our presentation, and we will be available at the meeting to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.